Hello, friends. The river carries me forward, just as it carried life to the first great cities of the world. The Tigris and Euphrates did not just create fertile land, they created civilization itself. And nowhere was this more evident than in Sumer, the land of the first cities. Imagine a world where there were no real cities, only scattered villages, isolated from one another. That was life before Sumer. But around 4000 BCE, something changed. As agriculture flourished, small farming communities expanded into larger settlements. These settlements became towns, and some of these towns grew into cities. True cities, unlike anything the world had seen before. At the heart of this transformation was Uruk. If civilization had a birthplace, this was it. Uruk wasn't just a large village, it was a bustling metropolis, a place of monumental architecture, trade, and organized governance. At its peak, around 2800 BCE, it had nearly 50,000 people, an astonishing number for its time. Walking through Uruk in those days, you would have seen towering mud brick buildings, sprawling markets, and great temples dedicated to the gods. The most famous of these was the White Temple, built atop a ziggurat, a massive stepped structure that dominated the skyline. This wasn't just a place of worship, it was a symbol of power, of the city's connection to the divine. But Uruk wasn't alone. Other cities like and Eridu also flourished. Situated near the mouth of the Euphrates, was a powerful trade center, connecting Mesopotamia with lands as far away as the Indus Valley. Meanwhile, Eridu, often considered the oldest city in the world, was seen as a sacred place, the home of the gods, where civilization itself was said to have begun. But what made these cities different from mere settlements? The answer lies in how they were organized. Each Sumerian city was a city-state, meaning it was an independent political entity, ruled by its own leader and centered around a temple. At first, priests held the most power, controlling irrigation, grain storage, and religious rituals. But as populations grew, so did the need for stronger leadership. Eventually, kings, known as lugals, emerged, claiming divine right to rule. These kings built walls to protect their people, commanded armies to defend their territory, and organized labor to construct massive temples and canals. Yet despite their power, they still had to answer to the gods, or at least to the powerful priests who represented them. Religion and governance were deeply intertwined, shaping every aspect of life. Meanwhile, trade flourished. The rivers were not just lifelines for agriculture, they were highways of commerce. Boats traveled up and down the Tigris and Euphrates, carrying goods like grain, wool, and pottery in exchange for timber, metals, and precious stones from distant lands. But with growth came complexity. How do you manage thousands of people, keep track of food supplies, or record trade agreements? How do you make sure laws are followed, debts are paid, and temples receive their offerings? The answer was something that would change history forever: writing. Yes, friends, the next great leap in human civilization was about to begin. And in our next journey, we will witness how the Sumerians, in their need to keep records, gave the world one of its greatest inventions: cuneiform writing. Stay with me as we turn the pages of history, back to where the first written words were etched into clay.